Good afternoon and welcome back to Bald Feather Bets. So today for Thursday afternoon, we're going to take a look at Thursday Night Football. First, we'll give you a recap of Monday Night Football, and then after the Thursday Night Football play, we'll let you know about some adjustments that we made on some of the early plays that we made for this upcoming weekend games. But first, just want you please to make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications on so that you get our halftime plays through community post, as well as our community posts on any early plays throughout the week. And then just support the channel. Number one thing you can do is subscribe, but support the channel, like, share, comment. Make sure you're sharing this video around with your football community, your betting community. Just want to grow our channel, want to grow our community because it really is a lot of fun. Never ask anyone to pay for these picks, just ask that you support and help us grow. So recap of Monday Night Football, where we had the Dallas Cowboys. And we were looking, I think we had either +7.5 or +8, didn't really matter, right? We were looking pretty good there for a while. As soon as Dallas decided that they were not going to take the 3 points, I knew we were toast. They hit a 64-yard field goal, but they got a penalty on Houston, which allowed them to take a first down. They did that. And as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, they're going to come away with no points here. They actually got down in a very good position, got it to close to the goal line within the red zone. Cooper Rush takes a snap, fumbles a snap, it's in shotgun. He's able to get on top of that. Very next play, throws a ball directly to the Houston defender, drops the interception, and it's like, oh my God. Then it's 3rd and long, completes a pass to CeeDee Lamb that leaves him 2 yards short of the first down, and I'm sitting there going, just take the points. It's a 10-point game, just take the points. You have Cooper Rush, you have a backup quarterback, points are at a premium. It's not a high-scoring game right now. This is what you should do. Unfortunately, did not take the points. Went for it on 4th and 2 with a rollout to the right with Cooper Rush. Was a terrible play, looked awful. Didn't get it. They actually got a defensive stop on the next drive. Houston was not able to convert, got the ball back, was driving a little bit, had a 2nd and 6. Cooper Rush got strip sack, fumbled, touchdown, 27-10 game over. So they were hanging in. It was going to kind of be a miracle for them to really cover that spread, but that's why we were on it. We love disgusting lines here at Bald Feather Bets, and that was a disgusting line, so we were on it. Did not get the win, so loss of 3 units for us. Still, overall, finished out the week with our best week so far this year, so really positive year. And now we move on into this week. So Thursday Night Football, we have a game between the Steelers. They're playing at the Browns. This is another, it's not a disgusting line, but it's not a pretty line either, right? So Steelers are favored by 3.5. Really interesting situation here. Steelers have had difficulty in the red zone. Last year, Browns defense, when they were at home, was like the best defense in the NFL. And then when they would go on the road, they would tend to have some problems. This year, they have not been near as dominant, but the defense has still shown some flashes of being good. One of the things that the Steelers have this year that is directly impacting their win-loss record is a healthy TJ Watt. If you look over the past 3-4 seasons, Steelers' record when they have TJ Watt and when they don't have TJ Watt, it's night and day. And one of the big issues is TJ Watt has been missing anywhere between 4 to half the games each season in the past few years because he usually deals with some sort of nagging injury, and this year he's been totally healthy. Knock on wood. TJ Watt is one of my favorite players in the NFL. He's quite incredible. I like the matchup of Watt against the Browns tackles quite a bit, actually. And I like the matchup of the Steelers' pass game in between the 20s being effective against this Browns defense. Where I get pause is the Steelers in the red zone, because they haven't yet introduced the wrinkle of swapping out the quarterbacks and bringing Justin Fields in the red zone. They did it to seal the game last week, and if Justin Fields hadn't have slid early, that would have been what sealed them the game. They were able to get it on the very next play. But I want to see them do that in the red zone, and they haven't yet done it. The Browns have been much more effective with Jameis Winston at quarterback. They were in that game with New Orleans late last week. They just turned the ball over late, and New Orleans kind of broke it open. But Jameis Winston quarterback is, it's like I said, it's one of the most up and down roller coaster things you're ever going to watch. Dude will throw an 89-yard touchdown pass on a dime, just like he did last week, but he'll also miss an open receiver 10 yards down the field in the end zone, and he'll overthrow him by 20 yards into the stands. And you're just kind of like, what, Jameis, what was that? He's the only player to be sacked for a 10-yard gain in NFL history. So it's always fun with Jameis Winston football. We're going to be writing Jameis Winston football tonight. The line is just ugly enough to where I kind of like it. It's such a weird thing when division opponents play. You got a home dog on a Thursday night. Things are just strange. We don't play totals here at Bald Father Bets, but like the under. But we don't play totals, so not a bet from our side. We will be giving out the Browns at plus the 3.5 for 3 units. So if you guys have kind of realized, we're at the part in the season now with the lead cushion that we have, where 3 units is kind of our minimum play. Obviously, if you guys haven't been with us all year, taper your units accordingly. But with the cushion that we've built up so far, we're in that session where we finally gave out a 20-unit play, and our minimum play is at 3 units. A little bit earlier than last year for our 20-unit play. Those didn't come till NFL playoff and national championship. Wasn't doing this channel publicly. Had a few private members on it last year, but 20-unit play now coming this week due to some of the positive outcomes that we've had in previous weeks. So again, 3-unit play, that's our minimum play right now. Nothing confident, but do like the Browns here plus the 3.5. Like Myles Garrett in this matchup a lot. He tends to kind of show out against the Steelers given previous issues. You may notice that I'm wearing a Georgia Tech gear today, even though you're like, hey, what happened to the Texas gear? I thought you went to Texas. I did. I got my undergrad at Texas. I got my master's degree at Georgia Tech, and they are playing tonight. They're playing against NC State, but had to represent. Line is 8.5. We do not have a play on that, but go Tech, go Jackets. So plays that we made into next week, want to alert you on a couple things. There are 2 of them that we had 3-unit plays that we bumped to 5. We had Oklahoma plus 14 for 3 units. We're bumping that one to 5 units. We had Auburn plus 3 for 3 units. We're bumping that to 5 units. One of those 2 teams is going to win outright. It's more likely to be Auburn than it is Oklahoma, but it would not surprise me if OU had a 17-14 lead in the 4th quarter in that game against Alabama. I think Alabama's going to struggle offensively against OU's defense. I think OU will play an emotionally charged game. Senior night in Norman, ABC prime time. It's pretty intense. So we like that one a lot. Things get weird this time of year. People are always looking ahead to the very next week. You heard Mike Elko in his press conference say we're 100% focused on Texas. Auburn. Rivalry week is coming up. It's only human, it's only nature for that to be on people's minds. So while there's some games that I think will get teams full attention, for example, I don't think Ohio State's looking ahead of Indiana to play Michigan. And I don't think Notre Dame is looking past Army to play USC because those teams are undefeated. I do think that there's some look ahead here from Alabama to Auburn, and I do think there's some look ahead here from Texas A&M to Texas. We have canceled, this is the first time I've done this year, canceled and cashed out the Florida play. If you lose a little bit of money on the juice on it, fine. It's negligible. I don't know how to keep it in our accounting. I'm not going to give myself a tenth of a unit loss. So we've done well enough this year. You can pay the small juice to cash that out. We may come back with the play, and we may also come over the top with Ole Miss. This one has gone into a few different areas of read for me based on the line movement, and then based on the way the game's being bet. I'm really surprised actually at kind of the public love for Florida. It's like people forgot what Ole Miss's defense did against Georgia just because it happened 2 weeks ago. Now, ultimately, like I said, we may end up coming back over the top with the Florida play, but that one's going to be more of a Saturday play than it was an early week play. I made a mistake on that one, playing that one early. So cash that one out, get that back. Again, if it's a small amount of juice you pay to do it, just pay it and get that one back. The other thing that we did is we took Ohio State and we added another 10 units. So we had Ohio State at minus 10 for 10 units, and we took Ohio State minus 12.5 for another 10 units. That has since come down. You can get Ohio State at some books now at minus 11.5, and you can get them at minus 12 at other books. So look for that 11.5 to add the additional 10 units to it, and we're up to our first 20 unit play on the season. It's Ohio State. We got them 10 units at minus 10, and we got them 10 units at minus 12.5. When the McLaughlin injury came out on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and there was zero line movement whatsoever, that one was really telling for me. I think they're counting on Ohio State's defense to hold Indiana between 10 and 17 points. And I could even see a situation where if the turnover margin goes Ohio State's way, they hold Indiana somewhere around 6 or 7 points. I think Indiana's going to have a really difficult time moving the ball. I think this game will be ugly early. I do think it's going to be ugly early. I think you're going to be sitting there and it's going to be like, oh my God, Ohio State, like they can't really move it. They're not pulling away. I think over the course of 4 quarters, this is a roster game. Ohio State has 69 players which meet the blue chip ratio. For those of you that don't know what that means they're former 4 or 5 star recruits. Indiana has 10. I think this is a roster game. Curtis Rourke, he played at Ohio previous to this. He has never played in a game like this ever in his life. In Columbus against a team that's this good. Indiana, like I said, it's not just that their strength of schedule has been bad and Ohio State's the best team they've played. It's how much better Ohio State is than any other team that they've played. I think it's going to punch them in the mouth. I think it's going to hit them hard. And I think over the course of 4 quarters, you'll get a late cover by Ohio State. They are an exceptional team. The offensive line issues may keep them from winning a national championship. They've just been kind of decimated across the offensive line, which was their one weakness that they already had. They were already thin there. But I still think it just doesn't matter in this game, in this particular game. So that's why we have 20 units on Ohio State. No other changes to the other plays that we've made. We have a few in there. Make sure you check out the community posts. We have a few in there for college and a few in there for NFL. We will come back at you Saturday morning. I will be coming at you from a hotel in Indianapolis as I am going to the Lions-Colts game this weekend. And then be watching all of the Saturday games from Indianapolis. So probably going to be a lot of Indiana fans around me, but it'll be a good time. Ohio State does have a pretty good university alumni and fan base across the Midwest, though. So expect a lot of Ohio State fans to be in Indianapolis as well. But have a great night. Enjoy Thursday night football. We'll get at you guys again Saturday morning. And again, please just support our channel, like, share, comment, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks, guys.